listeners, and welcome to episode 103 of the Nigeria Football Weekly podcast. I'm your host, Olu. I've got a very, very action-packed episode for everybody's listening pleasure. So today we're going to be talking about how our players performed over the past week. We'll also be touching on the Ballon d'Or. We'll also be touching about the incident, on the follow-up from the incident between Nigeria and Libya, and what the tale of the tape is since CAF have now made their decision, and also touching on Nigerian news, including the Flamingos and how they've been performing in the Under-17 Women's World Cup. So without any further ado, today is Tuesday, 29th of October, and 3 days ago on Saturday, we got a CAF statement on the Libya game. The good thing to mention is this has been very favorable for Nigeria. Even I was a bit shocked because we've heard instances where CAF might not necessarily punish a team for doing wrong against their opponents, but safe to say this has been a really, really good decision to see. So CAF met and they decided on three things. Libya Football Federation was found to have breached Article 31 of the CAF Africa Cup of Nations regulations, as well as Article 82 and 151 of the CAF Disciplinary Code. Number two, the match between Libya and Nigeria has been declared lost by a forfeit by Libya by a score of 3-0. This means that Nigeria have been awarded the win and have been awarded 3 goals for the game. The third point is the Libya Football Federation have been ordered to pay a fine of $50,000, which must be paid within 60 days of the notification that came on Saturday night. And then fourth, they just said all other and further motions or prayers for relief are dismissed. When I first saw them write prayers, I thought it was a joke. But, I guess for African continent, you have to say African words or things that matter to Africans. So, anyway, shout out to CAF for bringing down the hammer on Libya. I think the right decision was made. When you put the lives of players at risk unnecessarily and don't even explain why, you have to face the consequences. So, shout out to CAF. What does this mean? Nigeria now have 3 wins and 1 draw from 4 games played and a goal difference of +7. We are 4 points ahead of Benin in second place, who have 6 points. Rwanda third with 5 points. And Libya pretty much have no chance of making AFCON unless there's a miracle. Remember, the top 2 teams qualify for AFCON. So, in a nutshell, Nigeria just need 1 point from our final 2 games, which we played in November, to qualify for AFCON. So, no surprise there. We thank God that the days under Amaj Pinnick when we missed back-to-back AFCONs are gone. I think we missed the 2015 edition and the 2017 edition. May that never, ever happen in the history of Nigeria again. So, we will definitely be able to go and show ourselves again. We're finalists earlier this year. And remember, this AFCON will not be played until December 2025. I'm looking at FIFA and this is their stupid Club World Cup, which is the reason why CAF have now had to move their own tournaments to December. But anyway, we thank God. And one thing to note, CAF have also confirmed the exact dates for the games that Nigeria will be playing. So the first one will be against Benin away on Friday, November 15th. So in pretty much just over 2 weeks' time. And then the second game will be against Rwanda at home on Monday. Because Benin are the second place side, as long as we draw against them away on Friday, November 15th, we will qualify for AFCON. But remember, Benin beat us in the World Cup qualifier. So I would like to think that we're going there with the mission to get revenge and to actually show them who's boss. They're our neighbors, but we'll call them small neighbors. It's almost like England versus Scotland in terms of population and footballing pedigree. So fingers crossed, we'll get the job done. And of course, when the squad list is announced, we'll do a preview for the game and the lineup. So, what are the other things to note? Player reviews, starting with the Prem as usual. Alex Iwobi played 90 minutes and scored a goal. Really, really good goal from Alex Iwobi. And Bassey also started the game in their 1-1 draw against Everton on Saturday. They were lucky not to win this game. Everton scored, Beto scored in the last 5 minutes of the game. He was really emotional, which was good to see from him. But Fulham continued ticking along, I think Alex Iwobi is having probably one of his better seasons. He had a very good season last year, and it looks like he may even build up on that this year. Him and Smith Rowe have really formed a really good partnership. And, Haaland boys, I'm always going to support my Arsenal boys, ex or current Arsenal boys. So next up for the Fulham boys, they play Brentford at home on Monday Night Football. So we get Monday Night Football over the coming week. Nottingham Forest are flying high in the Prem. They're currently 7th in the league. Olaina played 90 minutes and Tara only played 6 minutes. They beat Crystal Palace last week, Monday, 1-0. And then they followed it up with an exceptional win away against Leicester City this past Friday. And it must be said, all I know was excellent, man. All I know, you are a footballer. Like, I know I said you should play for a top 8 club, but the fact Nottingham Forest are 7th and looking very good on the Espirito Santo just tells me that you're in the right place you need to be right now. And I'm sure his stock will continue to rise in the Prem going forward. Next up for the Nottingham Forest boys, they host West Ham at home on Saturday, so they've got another chance to build up on their great form. Chris Wood has turned, I mean, he's always been a bags man, but after he scored 14 goals last season, he's carried on that form. He's currently the 2nd or 3rd top goal scorer in the league. I know Haaland's first, but I'm not sure if it's Chris Wood or Mbeumo who's 2nd or 3rd. So they're looking really, really good. So I expect them to beat West Ham in that game. As for Leicester, well, Ndidi started in that loss against Nottingham Forest on Friday, but he continues to play well and give a good account of himself. Tomorrow night, he will be going away to Old Trafford in the EFL Cup round of 16. So we will see Ruud van Nistelrooy take interim charge for his first game for Man United tomorrow. And I'm hoping the Leicester boys, you know, a bit of Vardy magic, could show Man United who's boss. And then in the Premier League, they play Ipswich away on Saturday. So you'd hope Leicester would get back to winning ways because Ipswich are one of the teams that you really should be beating. Although when you watch Liam Delap and the way Ipswich play, they are a very formidable team. You know, they've been a bit unlucky in some of their losses so far this season. But anyway, shout out to them and we'll see how Ndidi gets on in that game. Finally, Southampton. Southampton are currently 20th and bottom of the Premier League, as you all know. Aribo played 30 minutes while Onuachu played 3 minutes. He came off the bench as they lost 1-0 to Man City. Yes, they lost to Manchester City, but you have to give them their credit. The fact there was only 1-0, I won't lie, it even shocked me, man. I thought they were going to get battered 6-0. So shout out to Southampton. And their game in the EFL Cup has just finished tonight. They beat Stoke City at home 3-2 to qualify for the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. Aribo started the game today and Onuachu came off the bench in the 67th minute. I don't like the fact that Onuachu can't even get to start in the EFL Cup, but at least he's playing minutes and he's in England, so hopefully he'll begin to show what he's capable of. So next up for Southampton, they play Everton at home on Saturday, so they're still looking for their first win of the Premier League season. So hopefully it could come sooner rather than later. Other results to be aware of that did not involve Nigerian players. Brentford beat Ipswich 4-3 on Saturday. I mean, really, really good performance. Really, really good game. I wouldn't say performance because both of them were just, it was Higgy Haga. But Brentford found a way, man. And Mbeumo, shout out to your 2 goals for my FPL. Brighton drew Wolverhampton 2-2. Very unlucky there. Brighton should have just seen out the game, but they got carried away. And the next thing you know, they missed the chance. And Cunha went up the end and equalized. Aston Villa drew 1-1 with Bournemouth. Bournemouth scored a last-minute equalizer as well. This was like the weekend of last-minute equalizers or like game-altering goals in the final moments of games. So anyway, that's what we love about the Prem. And then on Sunday, Crystal Palace beat Tottenham 1-0. Nice to finally see Crystal Palace get their first win on the board. Ebereze had a crazy assist for Mateta. Good to see Mateta get on the goals. Chelsea beat Newcastle 2-1. Shout out to Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson, man. They continue to play well for the Blues. Newcastle are in trouble, man. So next up, they play Arsenal, and we better flog them, man. I'm telling you. And then, of course, we know Eric Ten Easy in the El Sakiko that took place yesterday on Sunday. West Ham played Manchester United. West Ham took the lead through Sorrentino Somerville, and then Casemiro scored with 10 minutes to go. And then, to be fair to Man United, they got given a very disgraceful penalty decision against them, which Jared Bowen scored for. I always tell people, you think Arsenal fans are talking too much. This thing will touch everybody. You think, oh, Arsenal fans, we like to be victims. Don't worry, Man United, now you've got your own medicine, you see. It's going to touch everybody. Keep supporting stupid refereeing decisions. It will touch everybody. So my sympathy is capped. Erik ten Hag is out of here. Van Nistelrooy is in interim charge. And we're hearing that they're very likely to hire Ruben Amorim, who I must say is a very, very good coach. Although it'll be interesting to see how he plays with 3 at the back because no real big super team plays with 3 at the back in football today. And on a personal note, as an Arsenal fan, I'm happy because we have to go play Sporting Lisbon away, which means we don't have to play Ruben Amorim's low block with 3 at the back. So I think it makes Arsenal's job slightly easier. So we'll see how that one goes. And then a big clash of the weekend, Arsenal drew 2-2 against Liverpool at home. A bit sad on this one. I think we were a bit unlucky to draw. You know, we had a few injuries, but nevertheless, Bukayo Saka was excellent, man. It looks like he's gone even another level. You know, a bit annoying when Arsenal concede set pieces goals. So Van Dijk scored, which was deserved at the time. And then, of course, Mikel Merino scored his first goal for Arsenal. When Gabriel went off injured, you could just tell, like, the confidence from the team and just discipline just sapped a little bit, and then slight bit of lack of concentration, especially because Martinelli lost the ball, and the next thing you know, all it takes Trent Alexander-Arnold, one ball over the top. Darwin Núñez, for once, made the excellent decision, squared the ball to Salah. Salah put the ball in the net. So we dust ourselves, we go again. But there's nothing I saw in that game that makes me worried as an Arsenal fan. I think once we get all our players back, and even if you hate Arsenal, you have to admit, man, we're looking good still. And it's better for us to start slowly now and then peak later. Despite all these injuries and red cards. So anyway, for the next set of Premier League games, the 12:30 kickoff, mind you, England is now 1 hour behind Nigeria. So if you're in Nigeria, just assume it's 1 hour ahead. So Newcastle play Arsenal at St. James's Park. Arsenal were going back for revenge. Remember that ghost goal that they gave Anthony Gordon after the ball went out last season? And they said Arsenal fans are crying. Like I said, it's going to touch everybody. So watch out for that game. Liverpool hosts Brighton at Anfield in one of the 3 p.m. kickoffs. And then we have 4 other 3 p.m. kickoff games. Ipswich hosting Leicester City, Bournemouth hosting the champions Man City, Southampton hosting Everton, and Nottingham Forest hosting West Ham at 3 p.m. In the late night kickoff on Saturday, we'll see Wolverhampton host Crystal Palace. So these are 2 teams. Crystal Palace just got their first win of the season, and Wolves are still looking for one. But you'd like to... I mean, it could go either way. Let's see how it goes. On Sunday, we've got a very, very tasty clash. 2 o'clock, Tottenham host Aston Villa. So remember, last season, Tottenham were happy that they did not finish in the top 4. And they were happy for Aston Villa to take their place. Now we're seeing that Aston Villa are a much better team than them. So Tottenham and their mentality, good for you. All useless club. But anyway, let's see how they perform. And if Unai Emery can perform some more magic. And then we got the big one on Sunday. Manchester United host Chelsea at Old Trafford. We'll see Eric Ten Hag's gone. We'll see Van Nistelrooy take charge of this game. And Cole Palmer and Maresca are rolling into town. So this should be a very, very tasty game regardless of how the game ends up. So watch out for that one. And as I said earlier, we have the Monday Night Football this Monday on the 4th of November, which will be Fulham hosting Brentford at Craven Cottage. So a lot of tasty ties to look forward to. How's the Premier League table looking? Manchester City are top with 23 points. They've won 7 of their first 9 games, 2 draws. While Liverpool have won 7 of their first 9 games, 2, but they've lost 1. So Man City have 23 points, Liverpool have 22 points. And then Arsenal were 3rd with 18 points after our draw. We're level on points with Aston Villa, who are also 18th. Chelsea are 5th with 17 points, and then we have Brighton and Nottingham Forest in 6th and 7th with 16 points respectively. Tottenham are 8th, 13 points alongside Brentford, and the Nigerian boys at Fulham are 10th with 12 points so far alongside Bournemouth and Newcastle, who are 11th and 12th. West Ham are 11th and Manchester United are 14th. I mean, Ten Hag had to go, man. I even read somewhere he's lost 35 games and won 70 games in all his games for Man United. What do you mean for every 2 games you win, you lose 1? That's shocking for the supposed biggest team in the land. So he needs to just pack his bags and go home. And then relegation zone, we've got Ipswich Town 4 points, Wolves 2 points, Southampton 1 point. So those are the 3 winless teams still in the division so far. That's it for the Premier League, and of course, very, very entertaining week of Barclays. Let's see how the next game week 10 brings. Championship, just quickly, Josh Maja and West Brom are still 5th. They drew 0-0 against Cardiff on Saturday. Next up, they play Luton away on Friday. Speaking of Luton, Adebayo and Victor Moses started the game in their 3-2 loss on Saturday. So let's see how they perform when they play West Brom at home on Friday. Tom Dele-Bashiru was not in the squad for Watford's 1-0 win against Blackburn on Saturday, but let's see if he plays against Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday. Mohamed Tijani was not in the squad for Plymouth, and they're in the relegation zone anyway, so we're not going to talk about these guys going forward. And also, Jamilu Collins did not play, so I'm tired of talking about those 2 players because we really should not be covering players playing in the Championship for Nigeria. Mind you, Benjamin Tanimu plays in Ligue 1, and he doesn't even start for Coley Town, so next time someone tries to justify that man's call-up, send them my way, and I'll have a few words for them. In Serie, Ademola Lookman played 69 minutes in Atlanta's 0-0 draw against Celtic on Wednesday in the Champions League. And then he had probably the Nigerian performance of the weekend. On Saturday night, he played 56 minutes, scored 2 goals, and got 2 assists in Atalanta's 6-1 drubbing of Verona at home. When I saw he got taken off after 56 minutes, I was thinking, man, did he get injured? I was even worried. But maybe they were saving him to be fresh for the Ballon d'Or ceremony, which he attended yesterday and was looking hella dapper. But anyway, keep up the good work, Ademola Lookman and Atalanta. They're 5th in Serie at the moment. Next up for them, they play Monza at home tomorrow. So I'm sure we'll see Lookman play and keep the good vibes coming from his Ballon d'Or attendance. And then he finished 14th, which is very respectable. I have to say that's the third best performance placement of any Nigerian footballer ever, behind Osimhen last year and Nwankwo Kanu in 1999, I believe. So shout out to you, Adebobo, and keep shining. Also on Sunday, it does get easier. They go away to play Napoli, who are currently the runaway leaders of Serie A. So that should be a very, very tasty fixture. Udinese's Maduka Okoye are currently still doing well. They're 7th in the league. Maduka played 90 minutes. He didn't have to make any save because Cagliari didn't have any shot on target. But they did win 2-0 and he kept the clean sheet on Friday. So shout out to you, Maduka. Yeah, starboy in my eye. Next up for them, they play Verona away on Wednesday. And then they host Juventus at home on Saturday. So that's going to be a big, big game. As for AC Milan, Chukwueze's team are struggling. Initially in the Champions League, they did win 3-1 against Club Brugge, and Chukwueze got an assist even though he played just 30 minutes. Great cutback for Tijani Reinders. Mind you, fun fact, Tijani Reinders, who's Dutch, his first name Tijani was given to him because of when Tijani Babangida played for Ajax. So just show you the influence of football. So I thought it was quite a nice connection that Chukwueze assisted Reinders in the Champions League on Tuesday. However, their game in the league was postponed this weekend because of floods in Bologna, and that was very annoying because it meant Theo Hernandez and another player had to miss the game which they played against Napoli earlier today. And unfortunately for them, they lost 2-0 in the San Siro to Napoli. Antonio Conte is already cooking. Him and Lukaku are really doing the thing, and Kvaratskhelia also scored. So AC Milan are already 11 points behind, so it's not looking good, man, at all. They will definitely challenge for the top 4, but in terms of the league, after 10 games, it's already looking a bit spooky because they're 11 points behind. But anyway, let's see how they get on when they play Monza away on Saturday. Moving on to Lazio, Dele-Bashiru played 90 minutes ago on assist in Lazio's 2-0 win over Twente on Thursday in the Europa League. I don't know what he has to do, man. He then got benched, didn't even come off the bench in their 3-0 win over Genoa on Sunday in the league. Yes, Lazio won and they're 6th in the league, so doing well. But we want to see our star boy play, please. So hopefully he'll get some minutes when they play Como away on Thursday. And then they'll play Cagliari at home on Monday. So please, Lazio's manager, Maroni, I beg you, give him some minutes, please. He's always performed for you when he's got a chance. So please give him a chance. In the Bundesliga, Victor Boniface was not in the squad in the Champions League because of an accident, so he was being rested as a precaution. But Tella played 63 minutes as Leverkusen drew 1-1 against Brest. Very unlucky to draw the game, but Brest scored an exceptional equalizer, to be fair to them. However, on Saturday, Victor Boniface was back in the starting lineup. Played 70 minutes and scored a goal, while Nathan Tella was an unused sub in their 2-2 draw against Werder Bremen in the league. And then earlier today, Nathan Tella played 69 minutes and got an assist, and Boniface came off the bench for the final 11 minutes as Leverkusen beat Elversberg 3-0 today in the DFB Pokal. Next up for them, they play Stuttgart at home on Friday in the league. Stuttgart, as you know, are also in the Champions League and just beat Juventus last week. So that should be a very, very tasty tie between Leverkusen and Stuttgart. And we need Leverkusen to start running up the scores because they're getting a few too many draws to start the season. As for Hoffenheim, Kevin Akpoguma was benched in Hoffenheim's 2-0 loss to Porto on Thursday in the Europa League, but he then played 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw against Heidenheim on Sunday in the league. They're still struggling. They're just above the relegation zone, but I think they're just struggling with juggling Europe as well. Next up for them, they play Nuremberg at home in the DFB Pokal tomorrow, and then they play St. Pauli at home on Saturday in the league. Moving on to Frank Onyeka. Orban, he played 82 minutes in the 2-1 win over Borussia Dortmund on Saturday, and he was really, really good. And then earlier today, he was the man of the match, played 58 minutes, got an assist, as Orban beat Schalke 3-0 in DFB Pokal today. So shout out to you, Frank Onyeka, and that's exactly what we want to see from you. So next up for them, they play Wolfsburg away on Saturday in the league. In La Liga, we know Ejuke is injured for 3 months, but Iheanacho was benched in Sevilla's 2-0 win over Espanyol. I mean, Iheanacho, man, it's not looking good for you, but we'll continue to observe. Next match, they play Las Rosas away tomorrow in the Copa del Rey, so hopefully Iheanacho can finally get some minutes. And then they play Real Sociedad at home on Sunday in the league, so we'll see him play against Omar Sadiq. Speaking of Omar Sadiq, he played 90 minutes in Real Sociedad's 2-1 win over Maccabi Tel Aviv on Thursday in the Europa League, and he came on for the final 20 minutes in their 2-0 loss to Osasuna in La Liga on Sunday. Let's see if Omar Sadiq starts against Juve Espanyol away on Thursday in the Copa del Rey, and let's see if he gets some minutes when they play Sevilla on Sunday in La Liga. As for Crisantos Uche's Getafe, He played 45 minutes and then 1-1 draw against Valencia on Sunday. Let's see if he starts the game because he's tailed off a little bit since his really good start to the season. They play Manizes away on Thursday in the Copa del Rey, and he might be rested, to be fair. But then they've got a very crucial game against Celta Vigo away on Monday in the league. Moving on to the last of the top 5 leagues in Ligue 1. Ilenikhena played 13 minutes in Monaco's 5-1 win over Red Star Belgrade in the Champions League, and they currently remain second in the league in France, but they lost 2-1 against Nice on Sunday, with Ilenikhena playing the final 14 minutes of this game. Next up for them on Friday, they host Angers at home, so let's see if they could get back to winning ways. Nantes, Moses Simon missed the game due to a slight knock for Nantes, but they lost 3-1 to Strasbourg. Let's see if he's back fit on Sunday, where they'll be hosting Marseille in the league. As for Akor Adams, Montpellier, he played 90 minutes and then 3-0 lost to Toulouse on Sunday. They're currently in the relegation zone, so they need to fix up, look sharp very quickly. Next up for them, they play Le Havre away on Sunday. As for Lyon and Gift Urban, he played 11 minutes and then 1-0 lost to Besiktas in the Europa League on Thursday, and he was not in the squad in their 2-2 draw against Auxerre on Sunday. Let's see if he could get some minutes in their game away against Lille on Friday. Gabriel Osho also missed the game for Auxerre this weekend. There was a 2-2 draw against Lyon. He's injured due to knee injury, so we would expect him back in late November. So we wish him a very quick recovery. And as for Victor Rabko, he was not in the squad for Nice's 1-0 loss for Ferencváros on Thursday in the Europa League. And then he was an unused sub in their 2-1 win over Monaco on Sunday. Next up for them, they play Brest away on Saturday. So let's see if Rabko could get some minutes. And that's it in terms of the top 5 leagues, as well as the CAF statement of awarding Nigeria a 3-0 win over Libya in African Cup of Nations qualifiers. So moving on to the non-top 5 leagues, starting with Portugal. Onyemaechi's Boavista were in action, and he played 90 minutes in their 2-0 loss to Moreirense on Saturday. They're just above the relegation zone, so that's why I'm always telling people, like, let's just watch Onyemaechi, because Boavista are not a very good team. You know, I know Sanusi's still injured, but let's see what happens there. But anyway, they played Gil Vicente away on Saturday, so let's see if they can get back to winning ways. In Belgium, we've got quite a few star boys this week. So Tolera Godare played 78 minutes, scored a goal and got a yellow card. Girasor also came on in 78th minute, but went off injured in Geng's 2-0 win over Ghent on Sunday. Al-Qadari is still the top goal scorer in the Belgian league. Next up for them, they play in the Belgian Cup tomorrow against SK Beveren, and then they play Royal Antwerp at home on Sunday in the league. Speaking of Ghent, who lost the game, Torunariga was initially benched in Ghent's 2-1 win over Molde in the Conference League, but then he played 90 minutes and they lost to Genk on Sunday. He will also be in action against Union Rochefortois at home on Wednesday in the Belgian Cup, or he'll probably be rested. And then they play Breshut away on Sunday in the league. As for Rafael Dika, he played 40 minutes ago, a red card in the Champions League. Pretty unlucky, to be fair, the red card. You know, when 2 midfielders are going in for the tackle, sometimes it's very unintentional, but if your leg just catches the wrong part of the midfielder, you get a red card. So that was really unfortunate for him, and you know, it wasn't nice, and they ended up losing 3-1, even though they managed to tie the game 1-1 at one point. But anyway, he was back in action on Sunday in their 2-1 win over Anderlecht and played 90 minutes. He'll probably be rested for their game tomorrow in the Belgian Cup against Belizia Bilzen. And then he should get back at the starting lineup in their game against OH Leuven away on Saturday in the league. In Turkey, Victor Osimhen continues his excellent form for Galatasaray. He played 86 minutes in their 4-3 win over Augsburg on Thursday in the Europa League, but then he also started again yesterday as they beat Besiktas 2-1 tonight. To be honest, they were 2-0 up. Besiktas scored a consolation goal, and they've got no game this weekend. I'm not really sure why. As for Fenerbahce's Osai Samo, he played 62 minutes ago, yellow card, as Fenerbahce drew 1-1 against Manchester United on Thursday. You all know that Osai Samo was also a big reason why Jose Mourinho got sent off, because he was protesting that Osai Samo should have got a penalty, but in reality, it wasn't a penalty. Anyway, we saw Osai play 90 minutes over the weekend as they beat Bodrumspor 2-0, although they're currently third in the league. Next up for them, they played Trabzonspor away on Sunday. And speaking of Trabzonspor, Nwakeme played 45 minutes in Trabzonspor's 2-1 loss to Godsepe on Saturday. So it's safe to say that Trabzonspor are far away from the performances they put in when they won the league about 2 seasons ago. But anyway, Nwakeme's next game is against Fenerbahce, so let's see if he could pull up any trees against Mourinho. And then David Okoye was not in the squad for Gaziantep in their game against Konyaspor on Sunday. In Scotland, Cyril Desert played 57 minutes while Leon Balogun also started in Rangers 4-0 win over FCSB on Thursday. That's Steaua Bucharest in the Europa League. And then Desert played 45 minutes while Balogun started and played 90 minutes in their 2-1 win over St. Mirren on Sunday. To be honest, the way Balogun is playing, I mean, I know it's Rangers, but when you consider some of the centre-backs that have been called up for Nigeria, this is a guy playing the Europa League and formed the famous war with Trustekong. So I'm not sure Leon Balogun should not be getting call-ups. I know he's quite old. I think he's 33 or 34 now. So maybe it's just a case of phasing out a player, but they refuse to phase out Musa. So let's see what happens with that one anyway. Next up for them, they go away to Aberdeen on Wednesday. Aberdeen are currently playing very, very well in the Scottish League. They're second in the league. So that'll be a very tough game for Rangers. And then they play Motherwell away on Sunday in the League Cup. In Czech Republic, Igor Ugbo still injured, so we wish him a quick recovery. As for Victor Latunji, he started in their 5-0 loss for Sparta Prague as they got thrashed 5-0 by Man City in the Champions League on Wednesday. He then came off the bench and played 29 minutes in their 1-0 loss to Viktoria Pilsen. So they're now third in the Czech League. Next up, then they play in the Czech Cup tomorrow, so we should hopefully see Olatunji start in that game. And then they play Baník Ostrava at home in the league on Sunday. In Serbia, Petar Onyeka played 79 minutes and got injured in Real Star Belgrade's 5-1 loss to Monaco on Tuesday. I mean, Real Star Belgrade are pretty much awful, we just have to say, in terms of at least Champions League big boys. But they continue to dominate the league and they beat Spartak Subotica 5-1 on Saturday. But of course, Onyeka is injured, so let's see if he recovers in time for Saturday's game. In South Africa, Stano Abali played 90 minutes and made 5 saves as Chippa United lost 2-0 to Stellenbosch on Wednesday. He then played 90 minutes and made another 5 saves in their 2-0 win over Lamontville Golden Arrows on Saturday. He also started tonight against Amazulu FC. That was yesterday, but they were losing 2-0. So it's not looking good for Chippa United at the moment. But shout out to Nwabali, who continues to play well. Ones to watch for the week. As I said, tomorrow on Wednesday, we're for Ndidi will be in action against Manchester United in the EFL Cup. So look out for that. And then on the weekend, on Saturday, we'll see Maduka Okoye's Udinese play against Juventus at home. That should be a very, very tasty game. A lot of the big fixtures to look out for are taking place on Sunday. We'll see Ademola Lookman's Atalanta go away to play against Napoli and facing Conte's team who are riding high on top of the league. Sevilla's Iheanacho will be playing against Real Sociedad's Umar Sadiq. So let's see if Iheanacho can finally get some minutes. If Moses Simon is fit, he will play against Marseille on Sunday. And then we'll see Tolu Akadare's Genk play against Royal Antwerp's Victor Udo on Sunday as well. And then finally, Trabzonspor's Nwakeme will be hosting Fenerbahce's Osai Samo. On Monday night, we'll see Alex Wobi and Calvin Bassey's Fulham play against Brentford. And then also Crisanto Uche's Getafe will be in action away against Celta Vigo. Starboy of the week, bronze medal, I'm going to share it between 3 players. Alex Wobi for scoring a goal in Fulham's 1-1 draw again in the league this weekend. Tolu Akadare for also scoring in a big game against Ghent. They continue to be first in the league and he's the top goal scorer in the Belgian division. And also Victor Osimhen for his goal this weekend against Besiktas. That's one of the big Istanbul derbies. And Osimhen continues to shine and flourish. Silver medal this weekend, I'm going to give it to Ola Aina in the spirit of the Ballon d'Or. Not everything is about the players who are wingers or strikers. Ola Aina has been killing it in the Prem. He looks so assured. He's playing so well. His commitment to Nigeria is never in doubt, and he just keeps flourishing. So shout out to him. Gold medal this week has to go to our Ballon d'Or, future CAF African Footballer of the Year, Ademola Lookman. Ademola Lookman, fresh off finishing 14th in the Ballon d'Or voting on Sunday. When you score 2 goals and get 2 assists, and in just 55 minutes of action, my friend, you are a star player. Mauro Rotegi is the top goal scorer in Serie, who also plays for Atalanta. And him and Lookman are just killing it for Atalanta. So shout out to Ademola Lookman. You are rightfully the gold star boy of the week. You get the gold medal. And shout out to you for putting Nigeria on the map and continue to represent us in the best way possible, man. Honestly, seeing the pictures of him and his family yesterday at the Ballon d'Or was just amazing to see. So shout out to Ademola Lookman. In Nigerian news, the under-17 women lost to the USA in the quarterfinal of the World Cup 2 nights ago. I think a bit naive of them, to be honest. I kind of thought they might lose to USA, but it's a bit disappointing because we topped our group, we won all our games, and then the moment we go to the quarterfinal, we lose 2-0 to America. So anyway, we wish them well. As for the Super Falcons, it was the international break for the women's this week. So the Super Falcons won their game against Algeria 2-0 on Saturday in Ilenikhena. And then earlier today, Nigeria beat Algeria 4-1. Gift Monday scoring a goal and a hat-trick by Folashade Ijamilusi. So shout out to the Super Falcons for getting those games. I did notice South Africa played a friendly against England earlier today as well. So I'd like to see the NFF give the Super Falcons much more testing friendly games against the so-called bigger nations in the land, because we've shown we could compete based on last year's World Cup. So that's it for this episode of the podcast. Thanks again for rocking with me. It's been a very, very exciting weekend of football involving Nigerian footballers. We'll continue to see how they perform over the rest of the week and the weekend, of course. But please continue to spread the word. If you're listening on YouTube, shout out to our YouTube family, man. You've been running it up for me, man. Please remember, we're Nigeria Football Weekly on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, spread the word. I'm always keen to hear feedback, even though I never get any. Those of you who see me outside at concerts and tell me, are you Nigeria Football Weekly? You have no idea how much that means. It gives me so much motivation to continue doing these podcasts. So please continue to support, give me feedback. Remember, we're Nigeria Football Weekly on all our social media channels except on Twitter, where we are at NFWPOD. I appreciate every single listener. Thanks for listening to this episode, and I'll catch you next week. Take care, peace out, and ciao, ciao. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop a video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigeria, they ever carry last.